Hotep, Namaste, Ashe, Shalom, Islam. Thank you for tuning in to another occult healing session, everybody. Um, Before I get into this lesson, first of all, I hope you guys are getting ready for this summer solstice. By the time you watch this video, the energy should be going in. Again, just a reminder, June 20th to June 24th. The peak will be June 22nd. It's always going to be that number 22, regardless of what they tell you on Google. Again, they don't know what they're talking about. It's always going to be that number 22. That's the peak. The energy comes in June 20th. Energy is out. The gate is closed June 24th. I just want to give two shout outs to two individuals that are doing very well with my How to Make Money from Home session. Again, all of you out there that do not, are tired of working, that want to, utilize this internet gang, this internet thing, so you can focus on your spiritual path, so you can stop being so stressed out because you're going to a job and your energy is plummeting. All right. Hit me up, occulthealing22 occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. I want to give a shout out to Destiny from Maryland. Shout out to you, Destiny. She received my How to Make Money from Home session about 2 or 3 months ago. And now she's making at $400 extra a month, which is very, very good. Again, we're talking about minimal work here. That's $400 extra she's making. So shout out to you, Destiny. I want to give another shout out to Jason from Miami. Shout out to Miami. He purchased my How to Make Money from Home session 3 weeks ago, actually. And now he's making an extra $626 a month. All right, so shout out to you, Jason. If you see this video, either one of you, please comment so other people can see who you are, maybe ask you questions. So today, what I want to do an astrology lesson, because I want to talk about the rulerships in astrology. Everyone, the rulerships are your most important parts in your astrology chart. And you know what's ironic about that is nobody talks about these rulerships. Okay, so many people that got in astrology readings by other people and not me, when I give them an astrology reading, they have never heard about the rulerships. I told you guys a long time ago that a lot of things dealing with astrology are fake. The free online platforms, yes, they are helpful to know certain placements, but you can't get the adequate information you need. You're going to have to get with a real astrologer. I mean, that's just what it is. So the rulerships, I want to break them down for you. I can't get too specific because I always say I try to be as truthful as possible in these videos. I can't get too specific because each and every single one of you have a unique chart. So this is why I can't come on here and talk about what it means to have Libra and Mars, because that's not going to be the same thing for you. Okay, you're just going to be talking vaguely, and there's really no point in speaking on that, because all those videos that you see on YouTube when they're saying the same exact thing, because if you could see it, they're all saying the same exact thing. Why? Because what they do is they go on YouTube and look at those people, and then they just make a video regurgitating what they heard them saying. So many people in the YouTube community are all saying the same thing about astrology. You will not find that here. Okay, so let's get into it. Rulership. So you have a ruling planet, very important. You have a ruling sign, very important. You have a ruling mode. All right, there's 3 modes. There's cardinal, fixed, and mutable. You also have a ruling element. All right, every single one of us are represented by an element. All right, and this is why we get along with certain people. I mean, I'll break it down. Okay, now remember, you have all the planets within you, you have all the signs within you, you have all the modes within you. Okay, you just have everything in different degrees, and this is what makes you an individual. Sorry if you guys can hear this. Oh, never mind, it's gone. So again, ruling planet, ruling sign, ruling mode, ruling element. I think I said ruling sign. And also, I consider the North and South Node to be rulerships. Now, not all, not all real astrologers, because I'm real astrologers, okay, consider the North and South Node to be rulerships, but I personally consider them to be rulerships. Okay, so first we're going to talk about this ruling planet. Okay, your ruling planet is the planet that and anybody who's got an astrology reading by me knows a lot of this information that I'm about to give you, okay? Again, if you want an astrology reading with me, occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. Contact me and you can purchase that. But your ruling planet is the planet that represents your tribe, all right? Your soul tribe, okay? I'm going to get into the biblical scriptures, because in the biblical scriptures, they talk about the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. What these 12 tribes are represented by are planets, the nodes, and the asteroid Chiron. Okay. So each one of these tribes are all represented by either a planet, the nodes, or Chiron. Okay. Now, of course, not all astrologers incorporate Chiron in your readings, but it's still represented by a tribe. All right, it's just a very, very small tribe, obviously. Okay, so basically, this planet is connected to you in consciousness more so than any other planet. Okay, so whatever this planet is doing in the sky, it is affecting you more so than anybody else that's not ruled by this planet. Okay. So, for example, if you're ruled by Mercury, whatever Mercury is doing in the sky, going retrograde, going forward direct, whatever it may be, it's going into Cancer, it's going into Libra, or whatever. It's affecting you highly. Okay, it's affecting you more so than anybody else. All right. Um. So I'll give you another example. Okay, because again, this is going to dictate how a lot of your outside life, because that's what the rulerships are about. Okay, it's about dictating your outer sphere. All right, so when you're looking just directly at the planets, like let's just say you have the sun in Libra, the moon in Cancer, so on and so forth, that's your inner sphere. The rulerships show your outer sphere. This is why they're more important. Okay, because you can kind of figure out exactly how your life is going to be mapped out, exactly how you need to incorporate your energy outside of yourself. Okay, especially in the spiritual communities, so many of us are so concerned with the inside, and that's a good thing. But you got to remember, we can't forget about real life outside of us. This is why it's so much more important, especially in the spiritual community. Okay, so this is going to show you how you're, what energy the universe is trying to push you towards. Okay, so for example, the sun energy, the sun tribe. This is again the sun tribe, right? This is the tribe of the sun, of the stars. Okay, the shining stars, the bright ones. All right, so the energy, the universe is going to try to push you into the forefront of shining, of becoming the hero. Okay, because that's what the sun is representing. Again, this is like your guiding light. That's what your ruling planet is. It's your guiding light. So again, you have everybody that's ruled by the sun, this tribe, and yes, you're going to have different personalities and different ambitions, but the reason why you're a tribe, or the reason why you're a group of friends, I always use that as an example. You have a group of friends because you you have different personalities and different ambitions, but you all kind of walk a common path. All right. And then when you no longer are friends, this is because you're no longer walking that same path anymore. You guys have split paths. And that's just how it is. It's just how it is in life. Everything has an expiration date. Not everybody's meant to stay in your life your whole entire life. All right. So again, that common path that the Sun Tribe has is that they become the forefront runners. They become the people in the limelight. They become the people who kind of speak up for everybody else. They become the folk, you know, the image of what, let's just talk about like a company or something, you know, they become the face of the company. Again, now, of course, just because you have this rulership doesn't mean you're going to be doing this. And this is why you feel depression. This is why you feel like you don't know what you want to do in life, like you don't know why you're here, or you say things like, I was born in the wrong generation. If you ever said something like that, it's not really intelligent to say, but like I always say, not saying that you're not intelligent, but saying something unintelligent like, I wasn't born in the right generation, that's just a clear sign that you have no idea of your purpose. Okay? So that's why you need to reconnect with your ruling planet. And you need to research more on this planet, because even if you get an astrology reading with me, that's just the beginning. I'm giving you the map so you can properly research who you are, so you can dig deep, so you know where to go. Instead of just going all over the place trying to learn everything at one time. That's why a lot of people mess up with astrology or all this information, because you're trying to learn everything all at one time. But all the people that are really powerful in this community did not learn that way. They learned one thing, then they went to the next, and it led them to something else. And then it's just because we live in, you know, this technology age, this information overload where everybody's trying to consume everything at one time. And guess what? You're not consuming anything. You're not absorbing anything. All right. So again, that's why learning your ruling planet is so important. And best believe if you get a reading with me on that, I'll go really deep into exactly what that planet means for you. I just used the sun as an example, but that was just light work. Of course, if I knew exactly what your planet was, I go real deep into what you need to do. Okay, and where your common path is. All right, where your leading path is going. Okay. Then you have a ruling sign. This is the most important sign in your chart. Your sun sign is not your most important sign. That's just a speck of your personality, your inner sphere, a speck of your inner sphere. So you could be a Libra sun sign, but you could be ruled by Aquarius. That means that your chart is representing Aquarius. Okay? You know, and it may hurt because you've been calling yourself a Libra this whole time. That's not the case. You're not a Libra. Just a part of your personality is Libra. Okay? Which would be your conscious mind. But I always tell people the conscious mind, the sun sign, you know, you think that's your reality, but is that the truth of your reality? Not always the case. Okay? So again, your ruling sign is, again, it's still representing your outer sphere though. So again, you're representing whatever your ruling sign is. Okay, that should be when you somebody asks your sign, you should say whatever your ruling sign is. Now, of course, you're always going to just probably say the sun sign because that's what everybody's used to. But in all actuality and reality, you should be calling yourself the sign that is ruling. Okay. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about with this ruling sign, because some people, some stupid astrologers like to say, oh, you're ruling, uh, oh, I meant to say your ruling planet. Some stupid astrologers say, oh, your ruling planet is whatever the planet that rules your first house or your ascendant sign or your rising sign. That's not always the case. You can't just look at somebody's chart and say, oh, their first house is Cancer, so that means their ruling planet is the moon. Now, yes, that does play out sometimes, okay? That does play out, but that's not always the case. You have to do your diligence. These astrologers are lazy because doing astrology readings takes so much work, so they try to cut corners and do all these things so they don't have to work as much. And again, that's taken away from you, the individual, the purchaser, because you're not getting the adequate information. So back to the ruling sign though. Ruling sign is going to show you where you are always placed on this map. I call it a chessboard because this life, people, is a game. It's a chessboard. It's the matrix, okay? Stop trying to run out of the matrix. Stop trying to get out of the matrix. Okay, you're here. Stop trying to be an escapist. You're going to have to step up to the plate and take charge and become a god or a goddess. All this escapism, all this crying, all this, just crying all the time and just complaining because you're here. Um, you're here. It doesn't matter. Crying and complaining is not going to help. Yes, there's some messed up things that go on, and yes, you might not want to have to deal with money. That's too bad. Okay? Because you're not getting out of this matrix even until your spirit lifts up, until you follow by the rules. The only way to get off this chessboard is because you're going to be the pawn, but you're going to have to make it all the way across the board. Anybody that knows chess knows that when the pawn reaches the end of the board, it can become whatever it needs to become. It could become the queen if it wants to, and then move all around the board. That's what you need to do. This is what the secret societies are not telling you. They gave you this image that you could somehow just pray to a deity and then you could be saved and everything is all good. Everybody should know that's not how life works. You have to do something. You have to work for something. You have to put in effort. Okay, you can't just say a prayer and then all of a sudden everything is all good. They gave that to you to put you in an illusion. So I'm here to take away the illusion so you understand, and then you can start putting in effort. Okay, so your ruling sign is going to show you in this chessboard. For an example, okay, let's just say your ruling sign is Libra. Well, that means in the chessboard game of life, you're always going to be constantly put in positions where you need to understand the concept of how things relate to each other, not just human beings. We're talking about how fire and air relate to each other, how earth and water relates to each other, how humans and nature relates to each other. You're gonna be put in this position where you need to understand relationships, where you need to understand how you connect with others. Yes, beings for the most part. Okay, the universe is trying to make you focus on the relationship with everything. Okay, you're going to be put in that position, and guess what? The universe is going to keep kicking your behind until you understand it. Because most of the time we go against our true natures. So most of the time, if your ruling sign is Libra, right, most likely you'll want to lean towards Aries type things, because that's just naturally how we are in this society, because we do not like to be who we are. We do not like to go our own path. We want to go somebody else's path. We're too busy trying to work on somebody else's path. We see what's working for somebody else and say, that's working for that person, so let me start doing it. That's your main problem, and that's why you're not successful. Okay? I know I'm making this video long, but I'm trying to help you understand. The reason why you're not successful is because something has worked good for somebody else. You say, let me emulate that. Okay? So again, your ruling sign shows you where you're always pushed at, where you're placed on this chessboard. What piece do you represent? So if you know what piece you represent, you know how to maneuver. Again, anybody that knows about chess, if you don't know about chess, you need to research it. Okay? We need to learn this stuff. This is because once you learn how to play chess, you'll learn exactly how the society maneuvers. It maneuvers like a chessboard. So what piece do you represent? Because if you understand what piece you represent, you understand how you move. And then you can make the right moves instead of making the wrong moves. So now we're going to talk about the ruling element. The ruling element represents your aura field. Represents your flavor. Are you spicy? Are you cool? Are you so on and so forth? Because I tell people all the time, in this society, everything is ruled by an element, even environments. Okay, of course, everything has these elements all mixed within, but primarily owned by one. Okay, in a mixture, in another mixture with some others. Okay, so for an example, sports or martial arts or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, martial arts is a sport, so that will be a fire element environment. Okay. So the reason why this is helpful to know what you're ruled by is because you know what environments you can fit in the best. You know how to get in where you fit in. If you're constantly analyzing environments and people, which you should be if you're not, most people aren't because you're too busy in your own head and your own self. But what you should be doing is analyzing everything around you at all times. So you know exactly where you need to go. It's like a roadmap. I tell everybody all the time, your astrology chart is your roadmap. If you have the astrology chart, especially if you got it from me, if you got your astrology chart from me, I damn sure hope you are using it to the full capacity. And I damn sure hope that you're doing more research on it because you have something that's very, very valuable that can take you very, very far. But I know not everybody, you know, utilizes their tools. But if you don't utilize it, that's on you. Okay, for all my people out there that got an astrology reading from me and you're utilizing it, powerful. It's power to you, and I'm proud of you. Okay. Um. So again, your rule and element. Okay. It represents your aura field. This is why you get along with certain people right away, and why you get why you get disgusted by certain people right away, because you got to understand the relationships of the elements. Fire and air go together. Water and earth go together. So usually when you find groups of people and you find people that you just naturally mend well with, they're most likely in the same element as you or in a good relationship element. Okay, like if you're represented by water and you find yourself really vibing out with certain people, they're most likely probably water people or earth people. Okay, now the people you probably dislike the most are fire people if you're water. And again, you're going to have probably some issues with and misunderstandings with people that are ruled by air. You see what I'm saying? You're understanding relationships. Now you're probably thinking, well, how am I supposed to know what element a person is? Analyzation. You get familiar with these characteristics. That's why you want to do more research after this video. You want to do more research. You have to learn about every sign. You have to learn about every element. You have to learn about every mode. You have to learn about every planet. So when you do that, then you'll be able to maneuver in the matrix. It doesn't become so difficult anymore. This life is not that difficult. This life is very, very simple. Your thoughts, and you're making it difficult because you're so in your own self. You have to be in yourself as well, but you also have to be in real life as well. Okay? So again, there's so many other benefits to these rulerships. I'm just trying to make it fast because I'm looking at the time. All right, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. Just to spark your mind, spark your interest, and spark your drive so you can start making some effort. If you already have, like I said, if you already have the reading, then you go back to the reading and you start researching and making more effort. Or if you don't have a reading with me, you contact me, you purchase a reading from me, then you can start making the effort as well. So I said, oh yeah, the rule and mode now. This is your mode. How do you operate? When people say I go in beast mode, right? I'm going in beast mode now. That means they're taking it up another level. They're operating like an animal. Their drive is powerful. You're a mode, right? So there's 3 modes. You have cardinal, fixed, and mutable. This is gonna show you how you operate. Now, this is gonna play out mostly in your work life and when you're focused on something and when you're trying to achieve something. Okay, when you're trying to chase something, even if it's another person, you're going to see this operation come out the most. Okay, the cardinal mode represents ideas. It represents the mode that doesn't really move as much, but they have ideas, they have imagination, they come up with extraordinary paintings in their mind, and they always have an ambition, a drive to do something. All right, so those are like your daydreamers. These, cardinal people, just, they just pack ideas. They always have something new, but they lack energy because of that. All their energy is going into their imagination, into their mind and their thoughts. Okay, so they kind of lack energy to start things or complete things. Well, I don't want to say start things because they usually really have a lot of drive to start things, but completing things is the problem. Okay, then you have your fixed people. These people have an extraordinary ability of connecting with others, of networking, of being practical and organizing things and painting and mapping things out. Okay, they're just organizers. Okay, and they have a little bit of imagination. They have a little bit of drive to complete things. They're right in the middle. So, but their main talents are organization, or gathering groups of people to say, all right, this is what needs to be done. You could do this, you could do that, you could do that, you could do that. They're like uh they're conductors. Like they just know how to put all the pieces together. All right, so think about it. You have your cardinal person who comes up with the idea, the message, the direction, gives it to the fixed person. They put all the pieces together, they gather the people together, they organize it. Okay. Now, the weakness of the fixed individual is that they're very stubborn. They're very one-track minded. Um, if you think about it, in order to be so good at organizing things, you got to be super focused. But that focus can also be a downfall as well because it makes them unflexible. All right. So, and then you have your mutable mode. Okay. Now, the mutable people, these people have a ton of energy. That's the main thing. Energy. They can work. They could stay up all late. They can pile all kinds of different things onto their shoulders and keep pushing. All right. They complete things. They're the total opposite of the cardinal mode. Okay. They complete things. Their problem is that they lack imagination. Again, the cardinal mood. They lack imagination, lack self-esteem. They kind of need somebody to show them where to go. But again, once they know where to go, there's nobody blazing that trail like the mutable mode. So again, knowing these modes, you can get with the people you need to get with. So if you fall under the mutable mode, then you need to get around people that are fixed and cardinal. Okay, because you can't do anything out here alone. You can't be by yourself. You're never, ever going to be successful totally by yourself. You're going to need help from other people. So knowing your mutable mode, you can know exactly the kind of characters that you need to get around. It makes life so simple. Guys, it makes life so simple. We fail at partnerships and friendships because we're not picking the right friendships and partnerships. We're not analyzing somebody else's personality and how they do things. Even with relationships, the whole dating process is so you can analyze this person to see if they're a right fit for your characteristics, not what you totally feel all the time. You have to have feeling and mind. You have to combine. You have to have balance, guys. Okay? Or do they fit your characteristics, not your expectations? That's what the problem is. You have expectations for people and lovers. Toss them out the window. Look at your characteristics. If you're an introvert, you need an extrovert. That's looking at your characteristics and saying, this is what I need. Okay, you need people that are strong in things that you're weak in. So you have to get your expectations out the window and start looking for people and environments that match your characteristics. You start doing that, life becomes simple. You start just loving life and start becoming successful. Okay. Now the last rulership, which is my personal opinion to be a rulership, which is the North and South Node, which you're going to be talking about. The South Node represents, your hidden skill sets, your hidden talents, the things that you're super comfortable with. This is why it's dangerous here. Okay. The South Node can be very dangerous to the person that's trying to become successful. But if you know this, then you'll be able to avoid this. And you'll be able to use the South Node to get to the North Node, because the North Node represents the things that you need to acquire in this lifetime, the skill sets that you need to become comfortable with, the path that you need to become comfortable with, the new skin, the new evolution that you need to become comfortable with. Because evolution is a painful process. It's a process that we naturally just don't like. Because we like to be comfortable. We like patterns. All right. Well, guess what? You're going to have to break your pattern in this life for you to become successful. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. So the North Node is that out of comfort zone where you need to go. But at the same time, you can't cut off your South Node. It's like walking on thin ice. You're walking on thin ice. You have to use your South Node, but not become super comfortable with it and drown yourself there. Okay. For example, if you have Aries South Node, that means you automatically have Libra North Node. So again, some of your skill sets would be being independent, standing alone, taking action very fast. These are some of your hidden skill sets. Being able to take charge when you need to, being the aggressor, being really masculine. But these are also the reasons why you most likely fail. Okay, because you could be too independent. You'll be like, I don't need nobody's help. I want to do this all by myself. And I already told you what happens when you think that way. So the North Node is pushing you to understand relationships, kind of like the ruling element, right? I mean the ruling sign. Okay, where you're going to need to learn how to share your time. You're going to need to learn how to share your space. You're going to need to learn how to mix well with others if you have that North Node in Libra. But again, I tell you more deeper information if you get a reading from me. So basically, again, just in a nutshell, just to have closure with this, the rulerships represent your outer sphere. Okay, the planets. Okay, when you're talking about my moon sign is this, my Mercury sign is this, that's your inner sphere. But as we know, you need both. And in the spiritual community, your outer sphere is most important. You're most likely not going to find your rulerships anywhere unless you get a reading with an actual astrologer. And guess what, guys? Most of these astrologers on YouTube do not even speak on your rulerships. Okay, they just talk about what's hot. What's hot is, what does your moon sign mean? What does your Mercury sign mean? What does your Mars sign mean? This is why I wanted to do a video on the rulerships, because it's not talked about on here. Okay, it's not talked about on YouTube. All right, so now I hope I sparked something in you so you can do what you need to do to start mapping your life out. Okay, so contact me, occulthealing22@gmail.com. Get those astrology readings now. All right, get those astrology readings now. Okay. Again, the email's in the description of this video. Anybody that needs tarot readings, again, same email, contact me, get those tarot readings. Also, the how to make money from home session, like I told you guys before. If you're interested in really taking advantage of the internet and possibly making this a business so you don't have to have a job, again, that's the information that you need to get and actually utilize the information. Those of you that have the how to make money from home session, you gotta utilize it. Okay, don't just take it, listen to it, and absorb, and just go about your day. Work on it. Okay, don't let procrastination creep in. The longer that you wait, the deeper the hole you're putting yourself in. That procrastination is. I know all about it though. So, or the hypnosis session. If you want that, contact me. Or if you want one-on-one consultations, again, contact me in the email if you want to know about my services, and I can help you guys out and help you raise your frequency. So let me see how long. Well, that was a long time. I meant to keep it shorter. So anyway, you guys enjoy this summer solstice. I want to shout out to all of you. I want to say Ashe, Namaste. I want to say Islam. I want to say Shalom. Okay. I want to say just I love you. Peace and love, everybody. One love. Keep the vibration high. Until next time.